Today I want to talk about something many of us do on autopilot: breakfast. Not in a dramatic way, not with scary headlines. Just a calm look at the truth behind a few classic breakfast foods many people grew up with: oatmeal, eggs, bacon, and dairy. Most of us have eaten at least one of these, and many of us have eaten all four. I certainly did. When I was younger, breakfast felt like the healthiest meal of the day. In my house, instant oatmeal showed up often. You open the packet, pour it into a bowl, add hot water, stir, maybe add a little milk, and you are done in minutes. It was warm, easy, and it got you out the door. Eggs were common too. Scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, sometimes a simple omelette. Then later, the public message shifted and suddenly eggs were treated like a problem. In many families, they disappeared from the breakfast table almost overnight. Bacon was more of a weekend thing for me. Not an everyday food at home, but it was almost always there when you went out for breakfast. It smells amazing. It tastes rich and satisfying. And most people also had that quiet voice in the back of their mind saying, maybe do not eat too much of it. Then there is dairy. For many of us, milk was presented as something you simply had to drink. Milk for strong bones, milk in your oatmeal, milk in cereal, cream in coffee, cheese and yogurt at breakfast buffets. Dairy was treated as a foundation food. So what is actually true about these breakfast staples today? Are they helpful? Are they neutral? Are some of them better used differently? And what choices make sense if your goal is steady energy, good digestion, and long-term health? Before we talk about each food, I want to start with breakfast itself. The word breakfast comes from the idea of breaking a fast. You go to sleep, you are not eating, and in the morning you eat again. That is breakfast. A lot of people talk about fasting as if it is a special trend, but the most natural fast most people do is simply the overnight gap between dinner and the first meal the next day. And there is a simple idea here that can be useful for many adults. After you finish dinner, the body spends time processing and storing energy. After a while, when you stop eating and the body settles, it gradually shifts into a different mode. Think of it like two settings. One setting is storage mode. That is common during meals. Another setting is use mode. That tends to show up later, when you have gone a while without food. Many people find that if they stop eating after dinner and avoid late-night snacking, they feel lighter in the morning. Sleep may feel calmer, and the morning feels less rushed inside the body. Now here is a practical habit many people like because it is simple. If you wake up and you do not eat immediately, you extend that overnight break a little longer. Not by hours and hours, not by forcing it, just by letting your morning unfold. You wake up, drink water, get ready, maybe walk a little, take a shower, read a bit, and then you eat. For many adults, waiting about an hour after waking, before the first meal, feels comfortable and supports steadier appetite cues. If you do this, keep it gentle. Your body should feel calm, not stressed. Now let us move into the foods. First, oatmeal. Oats are a whole grain, and oatmeal can be a genuinely supportive breakfast, especially when you choose less processed forms. Oats contain naturally occurring plant compounds, including a group called avenanthramides, and they also contain soluble fiber, especially beta-glucan. You do not need to memorize those names. What matters is what they do in everyday terms. The fiber in oats can support digestion and helps many people feel full longer. It can also support healthier cholesterol patterns for some people, especially when oatmeal is part of an overall balanced diet. Now, the key point with oatmeal is processing. There are three common forms. Steel-cut oats are the least processed. They take longer to cook, but many people find they have the best texture and the most steady effect on appetite. Rolled oats are a step more processed. Still a reasonable choice. They cook faster. Instant oatmeal is the most processed. It is convenient, but it often comes with added sugar, flavors, and extra ingredients that do not help you. Some packets are fine, but many are basically dessert wearing a breakfast costume. If you want oatmeal to be a steady, supportive breakfast, here is the simplest strategy. Choose steel-cut oats or rolled oats. Prepare them in a way that keeps the ingredient list short. A practical method is to cook steel-cut oats the evening before. Let them cool, store them in a glass container, and reheat gently on the stove in the morning with a splash of water. That gives you the convenience of fast breakfast without relying on ultra-processed packets. If you like a creamy texture, you can add a small amount of milk or use a plant-based option like soy milk, almond milk, or oat milk. Choose what feels best for your digestion. Now, toppings matter more than most people think. If you add berries, you add flavor and helpful plant nutrients. If you add nuts or seeds, you add texture and healthy fats. If you need sweetness, fruit is usually enough. If you still want a little extra, a small drizzle of maple syrup can be a gentler option than spooning in sugar. The main caution with oatmeal is what many people do without realizing it. They buy flavored packets, add sugar, and then wonder why they feel hungry again quickly. That is not oatmeal failing. That is the add-ons changing the whole meal. So oatmeal can be a yes with the right version and the right preparation. Now, eggs. Eggs are one of the most efficient breakfast proteins available. They are filling, simple, and versatile. Eggs also contain choline, a nutrient many adults do not get enough of, and they contain naturally occurring pigments like lutein and zeaxanthin that are commonly associated with eye support in the diet. A lot of people grew up hearing mixed messages about eggs and heart health. The conversation has evolved over the years, and for many people, moderate egg intake fits well into a balanced diet. What tends to matter most is not just the egg, but what rides along with it. If eggs come with processed meats, refined breads, and heavy sauces every single day, that overall pattern is what becomes the bigger issue. If eggs are paired with vegetables, cooked with olive oil, and part of a balanced breakfast, many people do very well. In practical terms, a moderate rhythm works for many adults. For example, eggs several times per week depending on your preferences and your overall diet. Preparation matters too. Boiled eggs are simple and predictable. Scrambled eggs can be great when cooked gently and not drowned in butter. If you cook using olive oil, is a straightforward upgrade. Now we need to talk about bacon. Bacon is popular for a reason. It is salty, rich, and very satisfying. But it is also a processed meat, and processed meats are generally not foods you want to treat as daily staples. Why? Why? Because they tend to be higher in sodium and certain fats, and many processed meats also contain additives used for preservation and flavor. For many adults, a steady pattern of high-sodium foods can make blood pressure harder to manage, and a steady pattern of heavily processed meats can work against long-term health goals. This does not mean panic, it means clarity. If you truly enjoy bacon, treat it like a sometimes food, not a foundation food, and if you do choose it occasionally, a few simple choices can make it a little less harsh. Cook it lightly rather than burning it. Keep portions modest. Pair it with fiber and whole foods, not with more processed items. Now, dairy. Dairy is a wide category. Milk, yogurt, cheese, and cream behave differently in the body and in the diet. Milk provides protein and calcium. Many milk products are fortified with vitamin D. For some people, dairy fits very well. For others, dairy causes discomfort, bloating, heaviness, or digestive upset. That can vary widely by person. A practical approach is to treat dairy like a personal fit, not a universal rule. If milk works for you, consider choosing a version that supports your goals. Many adults prefer lower-fat options, while others prefer whole milk in smaller amounts. What matters is how you feel, your overall diet pattern, and moderation. Cheese is concentrated dairy. It is easy to overeat. It can be higher in sodium and saturated fat, but it can also be satisfying in small amounts, and some cheeses are fermented. Yogurt is where dairy can become especially interesting. Plain yogurt, especially unsweetened, is a fermented food. Many people use it as a simple way to support digestion because it contains live cultures. Here's a key point many people miss. When manufacturers remove fat from yogurt, they often add thickeners and stabilizers to keep the texture appealing. Some people prefer to choose plain yogurt with a short ingredient list and then add their own toppings. This gives you control over sweetness and keeps the ingredient list cleaner. A very simple yogurt bowl can be excellent. Plain yogurt, a handful of berries, a sprinkle of nuts or seeds, optional, a small drizzle of honey if you want sweetness. That is a balanced breakfast for many adults, especially when paired with a little movement and good hydration. In the next part, I will tighten this into a clear takeaway for each food. Then I will help you build a simple breakfast decision guide so your audience feels confident, not overwhelmed. Now let me bring all of this together in a simple, practical way. Because the goal is not to memorize science terms. The goal is to wake up and know what to do. So here is the truth about these breakfast foods in plain language with a few helpful myths cleared up. First, breakfast itself. Many people were taught that you must eat the moment you wake up or something bad will happen. For many adults, that is not true. What often matters more is what you do at night. If you stop eating after dinner, avoid late snacks, and sleep well, your body gets a long, quiet window without food. Many people feel better the next morning because of that, and if you wake up and wait a short time before eating, like an hour, that can feel natural and supportive for appetite and energy. Not because you are forcing anything, simply because your morning becomes less rushed inside your body. Now the foods. Oatmeal. Truth. Oatmeal can be a strong breakfast choice, especially when it is less processed and you prepare it well. Myth. All oatmeal is automatically healthy. Some instant oatmeal packets are heavy on added sugar and flavors. They can act more like a sweet snack than a steady meal. If you want oatmeal to truly support you, aim for steel-cut oats or rolled oats. Make it at home, keep the toppings simple, and if you want it to keep you full longer, add a little protein or healthy fat, nuts, seeds, plain yogurt on the side, or even a boiled egg depending on your preference. Now eggs. Truth, eggs can be a healthy breakfast staple for many adults. They are a convenient protein and they contain nutrients that support the body in many ways. Myth. Eggs are automatically a heart problem. The bigger issue is often what eggs come with. Eggs with vegetables and a balanced plate is one thing. Eggs with processed meats, refined bread, and sugary drinks every morning is another. So if you enjoy eggs, keep it moderate, keep the preparation clean, and focus on what you pair them with. Practical tip. Boiled eggs or gently cooked eggs are often easier choices. If you cook using olive oil, is a simple upgrade over heavy butter. Now bacon. Truth, bacon tastes good, but it is not a health food. It is processed meat, typically high in sodium, and it is easy to overdo. Myth, one slice will ruin your health. That is not how the body works. A more realistic view is this. If bacon is daily, it becomes a problem pattern. If it is occasional and your overall diet is strong, it is less of a concern. So if someone loves bacon, I suggest treating it like a weekend guest, not a daily roommate. If you choose it occasionally, keep portions modest, cook it lightly rather than burning it, and pair it with whole foods. Now dairy. Truth, dairy can be helpful for some people and uncomfortable for others. There is no one universal rule. Milk can provide protein and calcium. Cheese can be satisfying, but is easy to overeat. Yogurt can be an excellent fermented food when it is plain, and the ingredient list is short. Myth: all dairy is required for strong bones. Bone health is also influenced by overall nutrition, movement, sleep, and vitamin D status. Dairy can be one tool, not the only tool. Myth: all low-fat yogurt is automatically better. Some low-fat yogurts include added thickeners or extra sugar. Many people do better with plain yogurt than adding their own fruit and toppings. Now I want to give your viewers something they can actually use tomorrow morning. A simple breakfast decision guide. If your goal is steady energy, comfort and healthy aging, here is a calm way to build breakfast. Step 1. Start with hydration, a glass of water, nothing fancy, just a simple reset. Step 2. Choose one foundation. Option A. Oatmeal made from steel-cut or rolled oats. Option B. Eggs. Option C. Plain yogurt. Option D. Another whole food breakfast that fits your culture and routine. Step 3. Add one support. If you choose oatmeal, add berries and nuts or seeds. If you choose eggs, add vegetables or fruit on the side. If you choose yogurt, add fruit and nuts. This makes breakfast balanced without making it complicated. Step 4. Be careful with the extras. Bacon and other processed meats should be occasional. Sugary cereal and sweetened yogurt should be limited. And liquid sugar in the morning can change how you feel for the rest of the day. Now a quick note about coffee, since it often shows up at breakfast. If you enjoy coffee, many people find it feels best when it is not loaded with heavy cream and sugar. If you want something creamy, a plant-based milk can be an easy option. The main theme today is simple. Breakfast foods are not good or bad like moral categories. They are tools. Some tools support you more consistently. Some tools are better used occasionally. Oatmeal can be excellent when it is less processed and prepared well. Eggs can be a strong protein choice when paired wisely. Bacon is best treated as an occasional indulgence. Dairy depends on the person, and plain yogurt is often the most useful option for many adults. In part 3, I will close this video with a smooth summary and a gentle challenge your viewers can follow for 1 week. Not as a strict plan, but as a simple experiment to help them notice what works best for their body. Let me close this calmly and clearly, so everything you heard today turns into something useful, not confusing. Breakfast does not need to be perfect. It needs to be consistent, simple, and supportive. The biggest mistake many people make is not choosing the wrong food once. It is repeating the same habits every morning without ever questioning how they feel afterward. So here is the clean summary. Oatmeal can be a very good breakfast when it is minimally processed and prepared at home. Steel-cut or rolled oats work best. What you add to oatmeal matters more than the oats themselves. Eggs can be a strong protein choice for many adults. They work best when prepared simply and paired with vegetables or fruit. Moderation and preparation are the key. Bacon tastes good, but it is not meant to be a daily food. Think of it as something occasional, not foundational. Dairy depends on the individual. Milk and cheese can fit in moderation. Plain yogurt with a short ingredient list is often the most useful option for digestion and balance. And now, the part I want you to remember most. Before breakfast, give your body a little space. You do not need to rush to eat the moment you wake up. Let your morning unfold. Drink water, move gently. Give yourself a short pause before the first meal. Many people notice that when they do this, their appetite becomes clearer and their choices become easier. Now here is a simple 1-week challenge you can try if you want. Nothing extreme, nothing rigid. For 7 days, do this. At night, stop eating after dinner. No late snacks. In the morning, Wait about an hour before breakfast. Drink water during that time. Then choose one of these breakfasts each day. Oatmeal made from steel-cut or rolled oats with fruit and nuts, or eggs prepared simply with vegetables or fruit, or plain yogurt with fruit and seeds. Keep bacon and sweetened foods out of the routine for that week. Not forever. Just for the experiment. At the end of 7 days, ask yourself 3 questions. Do I feel steadier in the morning? Do I feel more comfortable after eating? Do I feel less pulled by cravings before lunch? You do not need numbers. You do not need rules. Just pay attention. Your body gives feedback when you listen. The goal is not to copy someone else's breakfast. The goal is to understand which foods work best for you at this stage of life, right now. If this video helped you see breakfast more clearly, stay with the channel. The next video will build on this and go deeper into simple food habits that support energy, digestion, and comfort as we age. Thank you for spending this time with me.